Hi everybody. I just realized I haven't really spoken a lot in this vlog or video so far. I honestly don't know what to call this. But hi, my name is Brianne of Breeze Knits. Welcome. I feel like I should do a little bit of an intro, but I feel like every time I've done intros in the past, I'm always kind of awkward. When I was younger, I've done a book YouTube thing, and that intro was so awkward. And I mean, not that this is any less awkward, but yeah, it's me. Hi. I live in SoCal. That's as far as I'll go. So I don't really have as much of a need for like really warm, thick knits. But I mean, right now, springtime, it's been a little funky. It's like sometimes it's cold, and I mean, pretty much what everyone else is experiencing. We have like a bit of our cold week, or our like storms. Mostly it's just windy where I'm at. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm currently working on the A-Win blouse by Fable Knitwear, or I think she said it Fable Knitwear, but it looks like Fable Knitwear. I only have a sleeve because a lot of her patterns are worked bottom up, which is fine. I guess I didn't realize like how much people don't usually like working bottom up until I started knitting more. When I first started knitting, I found her pattern, and her patterns were one of the first ones I've done like a full garment of. And my first pattern ever, and from her, was the diagonally jumper, which I love and adore that design. I had made one of them. There's a lot of mistakes. The twisted rib pattern is not uniform, but I kind of keep it and I still wear it because I don't know, I guess I just like looking at how far I've come and like realizing that twisted rib seemed like such a huge struggle for me to get down, and then now I'm like, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just, I don't know, just getting used to knitting still, I guess. But I also learned German short rows right away. So now when I see people like going like, oh, this pattern has German short rows, I'm like, what? What's the big deal? Like, I don't think they're that bad. I actually like seeing the piece grow a little bit, like that curve. I think it's so nice. But yeah, so currently working on that. I already have a sleeve and most of the body up to the underarms done. So now I just need the second sleeve. It's been on a bit of a hold because I started doing a test knit for Ocean Knits, or Vanessa. I'm test knitting, and it's my very first test knit, so that's so exciting. It's the Made You Love dress, so it's kind of, if you guys have seen her Made You Look patterns, she's making that into like a full dress, but she's also doing one with sleeves, so it's so cute. And I've been having a lot of fun test knitting that one, and then everyone in the group chat is like really nice too. So yeah, that's been fun. So this has kind of been on the back burner also because then we had like a heat wave here in SoCal, and I was just like, what's the point in continuing making a long sleeve right now? Like, I'm not gonna need it for a good bit. And then now it's gone. I mean, people laugh at Californians because it's like once it goes 60, it's like really cold, but for other people it's like a pretty normal day. But yeah, like right now I'm a little chilly and it's like 64 degrees outside. So I have I have a long sleeve and a turtleneck on. It's very light though. I was gonna put on my Williamsburg sweater by Cara Knits Ing, or Ong. I don't know if it's Ong or Ing, I'm so sorry, but that's her handle on Instagram. It's Cara Knits Ing. So I would have worn that because I think that sweater is like really, really like comfortable, and I don't get overheated in it because of the wool content. But I just didn't want to get too hot. Also, because this is my first time talking into the camera in such a long time. So I didn't want to get like all nervous. Because I already am, because now I've noticed that instead of looking at the camera, I've been looking at myself. I'm filming on my phone, so yeah. A lot of the cameras we were looking at, or I was looking at, are like sold out right now. And then all the other ones are like 1,000 something, so don't want to do that just yet. So I'm just mostly, it's just like a big old thing of me, which is kind of weird. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. It's the sleeve. I was going to continue with my test knit, but there was a challenge in the test knit that a lot of us kind of came across. So I think Vanessa was going to go ahead and fix some stuff in the pattern. She was like, we can go ahead and do it, but I don't want to frog again. I frogged like 30% of the skirt. Well, it was the whole skirt really. So I'm like, I'll wait a little bit. My goal now is to get this sleeve to the point of the underbust, so I can attach it to the body. But yeah, that's it. Hi everybody. So it's Tuesday the 12th of April. I am getting some stuff done that I just need to do on my own. And I did some knitting on my A-Win blouse earlier today, but been feeling kind of, I don't know, I guess anxious or like slower moving today. Also, if you hear breathing, that's my dog. But I'm kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Also, this is my husband's piano, and that's an arm that he got for Christmas to like record down, because he does like tutorial recordings for piano. So yeah. It's been, I don't know, today just felt really weird and off, and been feeling really anxious for some reason. And then I started thinking about it more, and I think I know why. Okay, hello friends. So this isn't my first time recording this. I actually just recorded like 30 minutes of me talking, and then I saw that my phone said it had 10% left, but then I was like, okay, I'll quickly wrap up my last thoughts, and then as soon as I go to hit the stop record, my phone dies and I lose that last 30 minutes. But basically, so I was gonna talk about what was, I guess, making me anxious, but I think I've processed it for that first 30 minutes that I just recorded. I don't know if I want to go through it again. But in summation, I guess I just realized that a lot of my anxiety is coming from putting myself out there in the knitting community, or in the knitting, like into this small knitting corner of the internet that we mostly inhabit. I guess just because of tendencies of some people to maybe be mean. And by some people I just mean generally anybody on the internet. So I guess I've just been anxious about that, and I guess I've been kind of overthinking too about like, ooh, who am I gonna be in this like corner of the internet? Like, what's my identity? What do I bring that's different? And I think that's just a lot of unnecessary pressure that I was putting on myself. And I was watching the Typical Bliss streams, and I was just like, you know what? Like, I don't have to fit into a specific, like, being in a knitting space is already, like, I feel kind of niche enough, but then feeling like this weird pressure of becoming somebody else that I don't know, like, feeling like I need to further distinguish myself is just like not good. And I guess I'm just like reframing that in my mind of like just being myself and just having fun, because this is a hobby and I think we all just want to have fun, and I want to have fun. And yeah, like I don't want anybody to feel like there's a sort of pressure or anything like that. Like I just want us to be okay, besties, that's all. So yeah, so I don't know what I'm saying, but basically that's it. Yeah, I had this all surprisingly more like right after my anxiety like kind of mellowed out, and I was like talking a mile a minute, but now that I'm not, I'm like having to redo all of this. But anyway, yeah, I guess I just realized that I was sort of feeling a little nervous about joining the space. Didn't want to be judged or anything like that, but you know what, at the end of the day, all I can do is control what I do, and I can't control how other people think about me. So it is what it is. I'm just here to knit and have fun and try new designs, and that's it. Realistically. So yeah, anyway, I felt left out so far, because I haven't been wearing a lot of knits, and a lot of the podcast fiber peeps have been wearing theirs, so I want to show off mine. This is the Athelian vest by Fabble Knitwear. It's square neckline, which I love and adore. I think she talks about it on her YouTube, which, I miss her so much on YouTube. Like, she was one of the first people I started watching on YouTube. So, Helena, if you're watching, you're probably not, please come back. I miss your YouTube videos so much. But anyway, so she talks about this design, and she talks about how it's meant to replicate, like, bodices. And if you know Fabble Knitwear's designs, they usually tend to follow, like, specific time periods. Forgot which time period this one was, but I really liked it. The only thing is that a lot of her patterns are negative ease. So this one was probably like the last medium I made for myself. I made the Diagonales jumper in a medium, which I usually am a medium, but because of the negative ease, it was like very like I still wear it though, especially because the wool kind of stretched out a little bit. But this yarn is acrylic. It's Paintbox DK. It is just a regular DK acrylic base. When I started knitting, I think like a lot of people, I wanted to just knit. But I wanted to do it in an economical way. So this is acrylic. My first jumper, or the Diagonale jumper, is in 100% wool. Forgot what brand it was, but I know I got it off of Love Crafts because my friend told me about it. So I think I had gotten like a pack of 10 skeins for I don't even know how much, but because it was 100% wool, it wasn't like cheap by any means. But then after that, I started making other people's clothes or garments, and I wanted to make more. So now I'm just trying to go through my stash. So I even have like a, let me look to see if I have it in here. No, I have it in my other project bag. No, don't fall off. I am making a novice cardigan by Petite Knit in this exact green because I have a ton more. I was actually gonna make my husband, well, I did make it for him. I just didn't make it in this yarn. I was gonna make him a sweater in this yarn. But then I found a different yarn that I liked better from Sorella yarn, so I just got him that. And I also felt like spoiling him with some really nice wool instead of just acrylic. But then it turns out the wool is very itchy on his neck, and the sweater that I made was the Hansholm. I think that's how, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but it's that pattern from Petite Knit. It's like a basic men's raglan, but I guess the neck is like too high for him, so the wool is like really itchy right here. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, of course I'm trying to like spoil you with like really good yarn, and then it's just too itchy. But it's okay. It's okay. He's assured me it's okay. But yeah, anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah, so this is the Athelian vest. I also made some progress on my A1 blouse by, I was about to say Petite Knit, by Fable Knitwear. It is beautiful so far. I mean, it's going to be beautiful when it's done, but I've attached the sleeves to the body. The other day I was working on the sleeve and I attached it. I did a few of the raglan decreases. And then I guess too, I know that a lot of people aren't really into bottom up work, and I think yesterday I said I don't mind it that much because that's how I learned how to put together a garment. Actually, I thought top down was odd, and then I was like, wait, how are you guys all trying on your projects midway? I need to know the secret. And then I found out it was because they were mostly top down constructions, which is fine. But anyway, so the only thing I don't like is just this bit, because it's the underarms when you knit it together. And I know like Petite Knit has like a add these mini stitches when you knit the arms together. Like once the yoke is done, then once you're ready to pick up the stitches to do your arms, pick up these mini stitches, or like cast on these mini stitches and then keep going. I find that with Fable Knitwear's patterns, she kind of just, it's like, it's not bare bones. I don't think it's bare bones at all. It's more like you kind of have to figure out, and I'm assuming she does this because she wants people who, or like people who are experienced in knitting, like can figure out the best way that they like doing it. But when I first started her patterns, like I was a beginner. So I felt like I really needed someone to hold my hand. But like this, when I was just starting, I made a paysan blouse. It's like those, what are they called? Oh, peasant blouses that are like off the shoulder and stuff. I made one for my friend, and I have no idea how to graft underarms together, so kind of just sewed it up however I wanted to, I guess, just to make sure it closed. And then I had to fix the elastic on her collar though, so once I figured out how to do Kitchener, I did that. But then I found that Kitchener was kind of like, it's too stiff, I guess, or like too, like, I don't know, like for an underarm, it just seems like not flexible. Like on the inside, you can feel that if you're wearing it next to skin. So I might just mattress stitch that up. If you have other suggestions, please let me know. I don't usually close the underarm holes until I'm done. So that would be good to know. She also, today's her birthday. Today's the 12th of April. And she has like I have to buy the patterns that I want to buy now. But she's having like a 30% off her patterns, but it's only today, so I need to get on that once I'm done recording here. I honestly haven't worked on my test knit since I showed it to you, or since I frogged it, because I'm waiting to see if Ocean Knits figures out the like issue with the skirt and does that math, because I don't think I can do that again. I mean, I have the math down of the stuff I need to get done myself, but like the constructing of it. So yeah. And then I was also going to show you, before my 30 minutes just completely and totally obliterated into the universe, I was also going to show you that I was going to make more Athelian vests, but with better yarn. So I actually just ordered, I ordered this a while ago, but I ordered Knitting for Olive from Shop, I just looked up how to say this, Shop La Mercerie. I don't know, to me I just say Shop La Mercerie. She's in Washington. Very sweet, very nice. She's actually part of my starting to knit journey. Anyway, so I guess that's why I feel a specific pull to purchase from her store. But also, she has Knitting for Olive, and it's like incredibly easy to order from her and the website because they always have stuff there. But anyway, so yes, I got these two together because technically the Thillian vest is supposed to be one strand of fingering and one strand of mohair. So I thought this would be a really cute fall look. Also, the name is Autumn, so like how can I not make it for fall? But also I want it for like that transition period between summer and fall. And then the mohair, of course, is also called Autumn. So I just got the two that go well together or named the same. And then I was gonna do another Thillian blouse vest, and I got I think before I had just purchased this sock yarn, forgetting that I needed a mohair. So I actually got this Sorella yarn. I don't know if you can see it. I feel like a lot of people do this with Stellina. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. Yay! Oh my gosh, it's so cute. It's Stellina's sock. Like I said, from Sorella. Love her. I love her store. Literally every single drop, I always want to purchase stuff. But anyway, I have to hold myself back. This one is Gold Rush. I think it's from her Taylor Swift collection. Yeah, I think it is from her Taylor Swift collection, just like my red one. But I only got one because I think I only needed this one anyway, but forgot about the mohair. So I purchased Knitting for Olive, and it's the dark mustard. I feel like it might kind of tone down the Stellina a little bit because of how dark it is, and it might tone down the vibrancy of the yellow, but we'll just have to wait and see. And then, because I'm already showing you my yarn, but it's not like anything new. I've had this for a little bit. I just needed time to work. So I said I'm doing the A1 blouse, but I also wanted one in a lighter color. Ideally, I was going to be making this for now, but I actually have a few skeins of this. It's more Knitting for Olive. It is rose clay in just their merino base, the light merino, basically the fingering. But it's so pretty. I like it. You can't really, it looks more gray for some reason. It's like a beigey pink. It's cute. I like it. I think I remember why I was going to show you all this yarn. I'm trying to remember from my 30 minutes of talking where it came up in. Oh, that's why, because I ordered 3mm interchangeable needles because my aunt is pregnant, so I'm making her baby some baby clothes. But I was making did make the Eleanor bloomers for her baby, and I only have one 3mm needle for another petite knit for a child size cardigan, but I was just like finding it a little too much to keep magic looping. Like, I don't mind magic looping for like small circumferences for like arms and stuff, but if it gets to the point where like it's for the full item itself, I just can't stand that. So I got 16-inch 3mm, and then I have the interchangeables coming because I also have a test knit coming up for Friday Knits, or Phoebe. Love her too, love her channel. I just love her like vibe and energy. But I was going to show you guys my yarn that I was going to use for that one. So this is the Lion brand. I think you guys saw me winding at the beginning of this video. It's Lion brand Superwash Merino. It is under their, it's categorized as a category 3 or DK weight. Let me tell you what, it is not a DK weight. It is more of a sport weight. Anyway, I don't think they have that many color options though. I think it's a pretty good selection. I just really liked this one, but I found out the hard way that it's not actually a DK. Like, I was gonna make this into a diagonally jumper. So I ordered like 4 or 5 of them. And then I had ordered their mushroom color, which is just like a really nice brown, to make my grandpa the Hans Home sweater by Petite Knit for Christmas. But then once I was doing the raglan increases, I started noticing like really big gaping holes on the increases, and I was like, what the heck is going on? So then like even with the swatch it was fine, but then I looked at the reviews on Lion Brand to see if anyone else had that problem, if it was just me. And someone was saying like, oh, the gauge and like the meterage and stuff doesn't make sense for it to be a DK. And then Lion Brand responded and said it's actually more of a sport weight yarn rather than a DK weight. So it's like, well then why can't you categorize it under a category 2 instead of a 3 if you know it's more of a sport weight yarn? Anyway, so then I ended up having to buy some mohair, and I got Knitting for Olive Bordeaux, and honestly the color combo is so nice. It looks like a chocolates and like chocolate and wine combo, and I kind of want it for myself in like a slip over, because when I didn't have the sleeves yet I tried it on and I was like, oh my gosh, I want this for me. But anyway, so I've had this just in my closet for a good bit, and then when Phoebe she's called for her pattern the Eloise top. It's like supposed to be like a part of her Bridgerton-esque inspired tops. So she did the Daphne top, and then this one is Eloise. So the bottom portion is supposed to be like a solid yarn. I think it's like DK or sport, but the sport has to be held, no, it's supposed to be DK or sport with mohair. So I got my sport weight. I just need to I just ordered more Knitting for Olive. Forgot what it's called. I think it was called Plum Rose from Shop La Mercerie. So it should be coming in soon, because the top, I can't start yet either because the top bit is all of mohair. So I need to do that so that way I can gauge swatch both of them and then go from there. So that's why I initially brought out all my yarns to show you. If you hear anything, that's my dog. So I don't know, I just felt like showing off some yarn. I don't have a ton of new yarn. I don't know if you guys would want to look through my stash or see what's in my stash, but most of it's acrylic, but I also have a huge container of like hand-dyed yarn or like natural fibers, because I don't want any bugs to get into it, especially now that it's getting colder. Hotter. Anyway, so this next yarn I did get recently, but I just wanted to show you guys because it's fluffy and it's cute. I got it recently on a trip to a yarn store that's about an hour drive away from here or so. But I got this one because of Inga from Knitting Traditions. She always talking about Rauma yarn. So I got the Rauma alpaca lin. So it's linen and alpaca together. The owner of the store was like, oh, because I was asking her about Isicure? No, it wasn't that one. Was it Soniscarn? Yeah, it was the tin silk. And I asked her if she's ever worked with it and if it's like worth the hype, I guess. Because I was feeling it and I was like, it doesn't feel as nice, like to me, as Knitting for Olive. I know a lot of people prefer Soniscarn over Knitting for Olive, but I just like, I don't know. Also, I have to say this too. Typically I don't go for mohair. I feel like mohair is a little too itchy on my skin. I have really sensitive skin. So I do prefer alpaca. But when it's stuff like a vest that won't be directly on my skin per se, I don't have a problem with it. But also the Knitting for Olive one just feels like really, really soft. So I don't mind it. Anyway, so yeah. So she said like, well, if you're very sensitive, maybe go with alpaca. And then she showed me the Rauma yarn and the alpaca linen, and then she had a sample of a sweater made up, and she's like, oh, because of the linen, it's like for summer nights and like blah blah blah. So she just really sold me on it, and I was like, is it lace weight? Because it looks kind of thickums. And then she's like, no, it's a little bigger, you can do it on like these needles. And I was like, okay, I need like a specific weight. I'm not there yet on like knowing what the weight is based on your gauge, because she was like, oh, if you do it on these needles and like these many stitches and these many rows, I got 4 inches. And I was like, I'm not there yet. Been knitting for 2 years and I still don't know what to consider myself, but so yeah, so when I just bought it, I bought a sweaters quantity, so I bought 5 of them. It's my sweaters quantity. And then I came home to look up on Ravelry, like if anybody has ever purchased this yarn. And I've seen it in a few stashes, and I guess it's considered an Aran weight. I don't typically work with Aran weight, not because I don't want to, I just have a lot of patterns that I've liked that mostly use DK or fingering. But sorry, someone's motorcycle. But then I started looking through some of my likes, and then I remembered this beautiful cardigan that I have been wanting to make, and it's called the Camilla cardigan by Solvara Knitwear. I don't know why I had to say it like that, but yeah, it's called the Camilla cardigan. It's very like light and fluffy, and it's got a cute little ruffle and a little tie. So I thought this would look really cute with it, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this for that. And then just because I wanted to show it off, because I really like this yarn and I really like this shop, and I think you'll come to know that as you're around longer. It's Sorella yarn. She has her spring tonals out, and this is the colorway Provence. Sorry, I'm trying my hardest to do French pronunciations. Please don't come for me. I'm trying. Anyway, it's their Surrey Silk base. I got it. I don't know what I was expecting, because I think when she released the spring tonals, I was like, yes, I'm gonna grab the sock base to do another paysanne blouse by Fable Knitwear, so I can get it ready for summer, or for spring summery. And then I was like, I don't think they had the sock base in this one anymore, like they sold out by the time I got there. So I just went straight for the Surrey alpaca, and I got a few skeins of these, because I think for the paysanne, for me to do it, it's 3 skeins of a fingering, or for 437 yards. So I just got this one, and then I was surprised and shook when it came. I know Sorella, I think someone had asked what was the difference between the sock and the Surrey sock, and they said, or the Surrey and the Surrey sock, and I think on the Instagram they had answered like, it's still Surrey, it just one's a bit of a thicker gauge. So there we are. It smells, I kind of like the way Surrey smells. I can't imagine, well, I can't because I block things, but yeah, I don't really like the way it smells when it's wet, but other than that, we're all good. I'm very excited to work this up. I think it'll be so pretty, like super pretty. And I think it's also like a really good way to kind of circumvent, I think Fable Knitwear came out with a book, and it was like a bunch of patterns that's all in Norwegian right now, so kind of have to wait for the digital patterns to come out. But one of them in there was the paysanne mohair edition. I think it's just single strand. I know somebody else on Instagram had done it a while ago when she only had the fingering one, and then I think she was just like so in love with it that she had to write a pattern for it. So I think that kind of like goes around it because it's still technically a sock base. And it's got kind of quite a lot of ease. So even if I don't meet gauge right away for like the size, I think I'll be fine. And it'll be kind of like the mohair edition, but it won't be mohair. And also alpaca is just so much softer on my skin. And then it makes me think about like the fact that there's, this is like a total random tangent, but I used to shop on Poshmark a lot because I love like antique things and whatever, like thrifting and stuff. So then I think I was looking for a cardigan, and then I saw this alpaca cardigan, and it was nice, it was fine, but it looked pink to me. Like it looked like either like this pink or like this pink, more like this pink. Yeah, it looked like this pink. And then I get it, and it's brown. It's like the weird, not weird, it's like, it's like a caramel color, which wasn't what I was expecting. And I reached out to the seller and was like, hey, I thought it was pink because of your pictures. And then she was like, well, alpaca is usually brown. And then she's like, and it's brown in the picture. And I was like, okay, but it was so itchy too. And I was like, why is it itchy? But it might be because it's just like more of a rustic alpaca feel. I don't know if with alpaca suri, or you know, if this is like treated differently, which it probably is. But I just remember like all of these like alpaca fibers that I've gotten since I started knitting, they're just like so soft and they don't irritate my skin at all. And it's, I don't know, it just makes me think about that day, like, sis, were you lying? Anyway, I think that's about it. I want to keep working on the A1 blouse, and I started drawing stuff on Procreate, but I don't know if it's any good. But I think I'm just gonna keep trying. I've been like wanting to draw, and I got Procreate to like help me just keep drawing and Procreate and just kind of practice. And then when I first got it, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to work this. And then I immediately was like turned off, with, I think you'll find it's like a common theme here, because it's the same thing with crochet. Like it wasn't like clicking in my head as quickly as knitting. So I was like, I'm just gonna like knot. And then I forced myself because I bought crochet hooks, and then in Ocean Knits test knit, kind of have to use a bit of a crochet hook, but thankfully she put a video up. So I was like, okay, let me just get over myself and figure it out, and maybe it'll be easier this time. And I did it. I mean, just a simple chain, but still I did it. Because I was like even nervous about that. But yeah, so probably go do that. I'm not gonna show you because I'm a little nervous still. I'm still nervous about like even putting myself out there now. Yeah, I'm nervous about that. But I don't know, I've met some really cool people already, like, well, not met, I guess. I'm not really, like, besties with anybody. I've seen so many people that are, like, besties with people in the community, and I'm like, jelly. I'm in Typical Bliss's Discord, though, so shout out. You're there. And I absolutely love the community that Typical Bliss has created in like her Twitch streams. I mean, I'm not on Twitch. I just watch her Twitch streams when she posts them on YouTube. I kind of thought about it though. I kind of thought about Twitch streaming. Like if it wasn't for YouTube, I thought about streaming on Twitch because I think it's so much fun, and I kind of like the chat and the way you can like set up. I think it's so cute. But then I was like, oh, like my little setup, I live in SoCal, so if you have like big furniture, you have to like make sure it's secured to the wall, you know, because of earthquakes. So like my bookshelves and stuff are pretty much like put in place, and we kind of have like this, like our room room shape is just like a perfect square. So my husband has his piano, he's got his computer to work at, and then we have my big bookshelves, and it's just like, ugh, like, I mean, I use a computer too, but like behind the computer, like where the webcam would see, it's like just plain. And I'm like, ugh, like if you just turned the camera around just a little bit, it would be so much cuter. But yeah, I was just like, oh, I don't know if I would do it, just because my setup wouldn't be like super cute, and everybody's setup seems to be super cute, or like based on their personality on Twitch. And yeah, so I don't know. I thought about it, but I don't know. But I do think they're fun. I think streams are fun. I think live streaming looks fun anyway, especially in the knitting realm of things and like crafting and stuff. I think it's fun. But to be fair, I mostly only watch Typical Bliss. So, because she re-uploads on YouTube, and that's the only way I knew she was on Twitch. I'm also on her Discord, so that's fun. Where was I going with this? Oh, besties. Yeah, I like watching her, and then started watching Alexandra's Garn. I don't know. I don't want to say it so like American feel, Garn, because it's probably not how you say it. But Alexandra Garn, I think. Anyway, I like watching her stuff because she seems pretty cool. She's a cool girl. All these cool girls on knitting Instagram. Trying to think. Oh, Inga. I started watching Sari. Like when I first started watching knitting podcasts, I was watching Sari Norland and Norland, because it's not an A, it's a U. Anyway, and then I was watching Elena from Fable Knitwear, and I was watching them mostly for such a long time, and their videos were like always so like calming, and especially Sari's, because Sari's like voice is like very like, I don't know, calming. That's like the best way I can describe it. And then I started watching Tiffany, and like her vibe was so like chaotic good. Like everything that she watches, I feel like I watch too. I mean, I don't watch like everything, but like similar interests on YouTube and stuff. So I was like, yes, I finally found someone who like kind of likes the same things I like. And then it kind of went from there. I think I started watching after that Kobe Kelly. Started watching Inga from Knitting Traditions, and then I think because of Knitting Traditions, I started watching the Crea Bea podcast, and then I started watching Penrose Knits. I think she showed up on my recommended, or Crea Bea mentioned her. Might have been recommended, but yes, I like Penrose Knits. I don't know whose. I feel like someone mentioned her, but then I started watching her. And then, let's see, who else I started watching? I can't recall. And then sometimes I just lurk the self-promo page on the Typical Bliss Discord to like try to follow more people and watch more people's podcasts. But then it would just be so much to keep up on. But it's worth it, because you know what? Sadi and Elena have not been uploading, so I have to watch everybody else's. Oh, Bethany from Well Loved Knits. Watch her too. I really like her style of videos and like her chatty talks. Love it. Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to just putting myself out there, because I'm already part of it. I consider myself part of it because I knit, and I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Ravelry, and I'm like on all this stuff, because obviously knitting has existed before this, and probably a ton of people who are like older aren't even on YouTube or Instagram, but they're still knitting. They're knitting their best lives, and I'm part of some sort of knitting circle and community. So this is my formal application of becoming a part of this internet yarn knitting circle. Hopefully you guys accept me into the circle. Oh my gosh, I just realized this purple is like, it's like perfect to the lily pads in this faux Monet painting. Oh my gosh, why can't I put it normal? And like even the variegation, wow, just like the variegation even looks so beautiful. I'm in love. Okay, anyway, I should just go because then I'm gonna keep rambling. So talk to you later.